hardcore about their PD. It's like you talk smack about their kids. Sorry, I just realized you weren't recording.
No, I forgot to hit record. So
would you like to say that again?
No, we're good. We'll cover it.
Okay. But I think his approach was that just saying it in not packaging it well in a way that people who love personal development are going to not get offended, because that's not what he means. But he doesn't want you to sit there and spend your entire power hour on PD and then not inviting anyone. And then where are you at? You know?
Right, exactly. And I think, and like Amber said, I think he made a really good point, which is that it's important, because a lot of times, and I experience this, is like if I listen to a really good podcast, or I listen to Grant Cardone, or, I listen to somebody who really fires me up, or I watch one of those like really inspirational Tony Robbins videos on YouTube, then that gets me in the right mindset to go out and do things. But what a lot of people do is they put it all in, and then they don't use that to put it back out there, and they don't use that energy that they've gained from it to put it back out into the world, and to make to do your invites and everything that goes along with this business. Where was I? Oh yeah. So I talked about, so on the call I actually talked about kind of a similar thing that Amber talked about, like with the Brooke Castillo podcast, which is, I've listened to this book called it's called 6 Months to Six Figures. And what I do is right now I have 3 personal development books that I've been listening to kind of on rotating repeat based on what I need. One is Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone. One is 6 Months to Six Figures by Peter Voogd, Voogd, if you're writing this down. And then the other one is You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. And I kind of listen to all of those because it's such good information. And those are pretty much the only ones I've listened to all year, except for Girl Wash Your Face, which was also great. But like, I don't do like a book a week. I don't like consume all of this information. I've been listening to it, kind of on repeat. And so what I got from this 6 Months to Six Figures, and he said it so well, is there's a difference. So like there's people who, what does he call it? No, I've totally just lost it. It's consuming information it's almost like consuming information to the point of information overload. And that's what a lot of people who are new in any niche market or industry or business is, they consume information and they go out and they try to learn every single thing that they possibly can, and they don't become an expert in anything. And in this business, you really only need to become an expert in like a couple of things. And that is connecting with people. Pretty much is just connecting with people. You just need to always, like if you do nothing else that day except for like one thing, it needs to be building relationships with people. And that's kind of been the theme of what I've been doing over the past probably 6 months now is, I've just been streamlining and focusing in on what are the few activities that I need to be doing that are going to give me the most return for my time investment. And it's been working out well. And I've been spending less time doing this. And I have been getting better results in my business. And it's kind of just like a balancing act now. And so like the things that I do on a daily basis are, sorry, it's very weird because neither of you appear to be there at the moment. So I feel like I'm talking to myself. Oh, Amber is switching. So like what I've been, it's basically just been streamlining the processes of growing my network and connecting with people and sending them an invitation. And that's 97% of what I do. I check in with the team page. We do this call once a week. I check in with you guys. I check in with my challengers and my challenge groups. But as far as like my power hour, like I don't even like, I spend 15 or 20 minutes at a like solid time. Like I set a timer and I will add people for 15 or 20 minutes. And, you know, sometimes based on who shows up in my like suggested friends, it might be, you know, 5 or 6 people because I don't feel like anybody's my people that day. Or it can be like 45 people and I send out all these you know, friend requests. But you need to grow and you need to connect with those people. And then what I do is I go in and I send everybody a message and I say, you know, I go to their page, I comment, I start, you know, getting them seeing what's on my news feed. And then I send them a direct message. I start a conversation. And then in a couple of days, I'll probably send them an invitation to a challenge group or whatever it happens to be that I'm inviting to. And like literally that's where I spend all of my time. But here's the thing, like our business isn't going to grow itself. We all know that. And the most important thing is, and everything's important, I'm sorry. I keep saying the most important thing. One of the things that, okay, what I'm really trying to say is it's great if you do all of that once. Yes, it will move your business forward. But there's this kind of law of like compounding effects where the more you do it and the more frequently you do it, the higher your return on your time investment is going to be. Which means like if you do this once a week, great. But if you do it 5 days a week, that's way better. And if you do it every single day of the week, that's even better. It's just a matter of doing things every single day and doing the business activities that we know are going to grow our business. Does that make sense? Okay. Amber, do you have anything to add or anything that I've left out lately? I feel like I'm like all of a sudden exhausted.
My video looks really crappy. I apologize.
That's okay.
I look super red and super fuzzy. I missed about half of what you said because my dogs unplugged my cell phone charger and killed my phone. So I'm now on my desktop. So if I get quiet, interrupt me. No, I can't really think of anything that you didn't say. Just to reiterate, you know, the more you put into this business, the more you're going to get out. And maybe it's something you posted, Alana. If you treat,
I can't hear you.
Damn it.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Computer.
I can hear you
The
swearing.
curse. That'll be the only thing that picks up on my camera is the cursing. I think it was something you posted. It was something about if you treat your business like, if you are casual about your business. Did you see that or did you post that?
That might have
if
been
you are
Tony.
casual, huh?
I think it was Tony. I don't think I posted that.
If you're casual about your business, then your business will be your casualty or something like that. It's something along the lines of like if you don't take it serious, then you know, don't expect to get serious results out of something if you don't take it seriously. You know,
Yeah.
If you're not going to put work in, you know, you're not going to get the results that you want.
Yeah, that's totally true. Like it's a hard concept to wrap our minds around that like we are a business owner. Like we own our own little business that we run. You know, whether it's little, whether it's big, but the way that we treat it is how it's going to treat us. And so, you know, if we let every day derail us in some way, and we, you know, spend more time and effort on everything else in our life and don't give the time and energy that this business needs on a consistent basis, we're never going to get to the point where this can be our full-time business. You know, we need to treat what we do like as though we are the owner of our own business, as though we are the CEO, because we are. Each and every one of us is the CEO of our own Beachbody health and fitness business. And we need to make that a priority. And that's the mindset that we need to be in. And it's a hard one. Like, I still struggle with it because, in my affirmations every morning, like, I tell myself, like, my business pays me like a business and I treat it like a business and blah, blah, blah. And like everything that I say about it, when I write down my affirmations in the morning, but it's hard as I go through the day not to let everything else get in the way and like become a bigger priority just because it happens to be there right now. Like, in order to get to where we want to go, we have to do the hard things right now. We have to, write it in our scheduler, make it clear to the people, around us that this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing at this time. And I'm still not great at that. Like, I still let other things get in the way and I put this off and, push it back and replace it with other things. And, but like, and yet I am still here. And yet, I've been here for 2 years and yes, my business is growing. Part of me feels like I need to be doing more. Part of me feels like I'm doing a great job. Like, it's all a contradiction, but it's all in the mindset that you bring to this business. And that mindset is what's going to set you up to be able to do those activities every single day. And I think that truly just like doing, this is going to sound really weird, doing as little as possible. Okay. Doing as few things as possible really, really, really well is the key to this business. I feel like this is what I've been trying to find ever since like January, when I felt like I just was so overwhelmed because I was trying to do everything. I was trying to be in all the challenge groups. I was trying to like participate in all of these trainings and I wasn't getting anywhere. And now I'm doing fewer things. I'm doing them for a greater chunk of what the period of time that I'm spending on my business. I'm actually spending less time on my business, but my business is growing faster and bigger than it has, at any point in the last 2 years. I will say this is a challenging time of year, but the effort and energy that you put in right now is what's going to blow you up in January when everybody and their mother is going to be looking for their new year's resolution health and fitness plan. I'm just going to go into this because this just like popped into my head. This is what this call is going to be like tonight. So one of the things that, needs to be a consistent part of our daily activities is sharing our story and sharing our journey on social media. People need to see some form of health and fitness from you on social media every single day. And what I'm really loving about Instagram stories, is I don't post every day about health and fitness on my Facebook page, but I do pretty much like almost exclusively post about health and fitness on Instagram stories. And I heard a really good analogy. It's like your Instagram feed and your Facebook profile are kind of like your magazine cover. It's like that's the highlights that you want people to see about your life. And I'm not talking about a highlight reel, like a perfect life highlight reel. I'm talking about like, the chat, like the good, like the really well-crafted good posts with really good photos. The things that, you struggle, being a mom, whatever that is, you both have kids who are on the autism spectrum and, like you have those posts that like that just like they come from just deep, deep, deep inside you. And it's about what your life is like, or, a transformation post or, something funny, all of the different pieces of your life, like whatever it happens to be. And then Instagram stories and Facebook stories, those are like the reality show of your life basically every day. It's like you get up and, you know, you drink your Energize and you go downstairs and you do your workout and you come back upstairs and you know, drink your recovery shake and you sit down and you write your goals and you have your breakfast and you take a picture and you drive to work and you see something pretty and you take a picture and, you know, you kiss your kid goodbye and, you know, you share that and then you go to work and you do your thing and you share quotes and you share funny stuff and you come home and you have your shake for lunch and you know, whatever happens to be, all these different things that you go through on a daily basis. And that's where people get to know you. And that's where you do, you know, you do these little live clips and people get to know who you are. And so when you are building this over time on your Instagram stories and on your Facebook stories, and you're becoming more comfortable on social media, sharing who you are and people get to know you, here we are in October, the end of October, you know, coming into the holidays, and people are seeing that you are consistent every single day doing your own fitness journey. They see you doing that every day, even on days that you don't want to, even on the holidays, even on holiday weekends, even on Saturday morning, you know, even on Tuesday afternoon. You know, they see you, yes, they see you enjoying yourself and having a glass of wine or whatever, but they see you consistently eating well. And then at the end of December, when they're like, oh my God, the holidays are over, what am I going to do? They think of you because they're like, that girl was really consistent when nobody else was. I saw her eating well the day before Christmas. I saw her, you know, drinking her water, you know, whatever. She's the one who's going to be able to help me on my health journey because, you know, and what I've started doing is I've started sharing like success stories from our challenge group on my Instagram stories, and, you know, like highlighting what goes on in the group. And, you know, so people can see that, you know, people are having success, and like snaps from our, you know, our fitness chat group. People are going to see all of that. And then come January, when they are ready to make a commitment, you're going to be the one that they think about. But you have to be consistent. You have to do the work. You have to do your workout. You have to drink your shake. You have to take a picture and share about it. You have to share in the challenge group. You have to invite people. I mean, there's not a lot of things to do, but it is hard because we have to do them and we have to be consistent about doing them. Last year when I drove to Summit in New Orleans, I listened to Darren Hardy's The Compound Effect. And that was it was a good book for illustrating just how much, you know, what he talks about are like the minute things that we do every day. But just the fact that we do them every day, maybe you drink an extra 4 ounces of water every single day than the person sitting next to you. Over time, you know, your hydration is going to be better than them. He gives this really good illustration about 2 guys in their, you know, midlife. One makes a few incremental adjustments to improve himself, meaning he starts reading personal development and he decides that he's going to go to the gym 30 minutes twice a week and eat 100 calories less a day. I mean, like, these are so minute changes. There's his neighbor who decides he's really happy with his life. You know, he thinks he's done a great job. He's going to reward himself. Like, he buys a big screen TV and he builds a mini bar in his, you know, basement. And he just is like, I deserve like to enjoy myself and relax. And just over time, and he illustrates it like, and I think it goes over the course of maybe like 10 years. But the gap in the happiness and the success and, you know, the family life and the health of the person who made the positive changes versus, you know, the mindset and the poor health choices, the, you know, depression, all of these things that come along with the choices that we make in our lives. Over the long term, like, you would not see a difference between these 2 people for several years, but the difference that those tiny choices make, because they were repeated consistently day after day after day, they add up to really big changes. And that is what this business will do. That's what this business does for people, is the people who do, you don't have to do very much. Like literally, if you follow the business activity tracker in the back office and you add 3 to 5 friends a day, you invite 3 to 5 people a day, you talk to 3 to 5 people a day. If you are doing that, like since you started this business, if you've done that every day since you started this business, wherever you are in your business now, where would you be? If you talked to 3 to 5 people a day and you'd invited 3 to 5 people a day. It doesn't seem like very much, but over time it adds up and it adds up and it adds up. And the longer you're in this business and the more you do that every single day, that's how this adds up. But if you take a week off, or if you take, 3 or 4 days off, or if you don't do your workouts and you don't post, and then you come back and like, everybody's like, well, where has she been? Like, that's what it throws people off. You want to be the person. Are you getting dog kisses? You want to be the person that people are convinced that you are so consistent that there's nobody else, there's no doubt in their mind that they should go and spend time with somebody else on their health and fitness journey. Amber, what do you have to add?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to make sure that this microphone actually works better than the stupid. I would be so mad if it didn't work. I'm just sitting here with this big ass headset on for no reason. No, going back to this sharing your story, I just had someone message me the other day. Actually, it was yesterday, I want to say. I don't know. My memory is really bad with my concussion right now. She messaged me and said something about my autism posts that I've been posting. I did not know this, but my friend's kid had been diagnosed with autism just like 6 months ago, and she hadn't really reached out because her family was being really weird about it. So she had been keeping it quiet on social media. I get the impression that somebody in her family is like ashamed of it, like someone really close to them, like maybe a grandparent or something. So she has not made any like note of it on social media at all. But she's having like the same exact struggles that we're having right now with Riley. And she kind of reached out and said, I don't comment a lot on it because she's literally trying not to draw like any attention to it. But she said, I just wanted to say thank you for being so real and posting, the nitty gritty of what's going on with you guys and sharing the good and the bad. She's like, because right now, like I'm living your exact life, but I don't have the support that you guys have. And, she's like, I don't even have anybody to turn to ask about these things. And I had just flat out posted out on my social media. I'm like, hey, autism moms, I need help with this. Like, I don't know what the heck is happening right now. And I need, assistance. So ironically, because I do that and I'm so real on social media, that she's been able to like get tips and stuff via the posts that I'm making to get that information. But then to tie it back around again to what we're talking about, like that made the trust. Like she trusts that the things that I'm going to say are like real and honest. And then she started talking about, and I'm stressing out about like, I want to get back into shape, but how do I handle doing that with a special needs child? And, if they don't think that you're like being honest about what you've got going on your social media, then they're not going to trust you with one of the most heavily loaded topics in the world right now, which is weight and diet and all that kind of stuff. And people don't know what's true and what to turn to and what's a gimmick and what isn't. So if you share your story and be as authentic as possible and just be honest, you're gonna draw people to you with your honesty. And then you'll be able to have the real talks with them about the health and fitness stuff. They'll trust you more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's not just about health and fitness. It's about every other aspect of your life that you have. And so like this winter, I've been like talking a lot about, all the things that I'm going through, like with this seasonal depression. And like, I've got my sunshine lamp like right here, and it's my, like, I don't know, my light ring when I'm on a video. But like, you know, I've been talking about that and sharing about that. And I've had people reach out to me who are like, I had no idea you struggled with this. Like, I'm struggling with it too. What are you doing? And, you know, they're trying some of these things out that I'm doing, and they work, and some of them do and some of them don't. And, you know, or, you know, I talk about, I don't even know what else. Like, oh, the other thing I talked about last year is like, because I've got Raynaud's phenomenon, which is like this nerve issue in your fingers. And I remember I made a couple of posts last winter about that, and everybody's like, oh, that happens to me too. I had no idea. But yeah, it's just like adding value to people's lives, sharing what you're going through, because the thing about social media is people don't want to share the ugly. People just want to share the beautiful and the curated and the posed and the styled. And that isn't what real life is. And so when you become that person who's relatable, and you become that person who shares what's real and shares what you're going through, that's when you become somebody that people want to follow, because they want to hear what's real. I mean, people are so kind of worn down by what is, I don't know, it's pretty, I guess, fake, I guess you would call it, on social media. Like, there's so many, like, you know, accounts. People have, you know, their perfectly styled account, and they're smiling, clean children in white pants, and like, no child wears white pants. Like, let's be real. And, you know, and then you show your chaotic, crazy life, and you're like, here we are, time to go work out. And they're like, dude, like, that girl is, she's, you know, she's real. So we have like 6.5 minutes. Okay. So I guess what I want to do is, I guess if you take anything away from this call, I want it to be that in our business, when we think about where we want to be in our business in a year, or in 3 years, or in 10 years, and we think about some of these coaches who are so successful and what they do, the things that they do are, they're consistent every single day. They show up on social media. They show up in their challenge group. They invite people every day. And I think those are really the main things, you know, not just inviting. I guess, like, I have lately just been lumping growing my network, connecting, and inviting all into just one big lump, because some days all I do is add people to my network. Some days all I do is connect. Some days all I do is invite. But over the course of a week, it's, you know, it's pretty evenly split out between the three. Sometimes I do more inviting depending on the time of month. But like, doing those, you know, three kind of core things, and, you know, being active in challenge group and showing up, that's part of the vital behaviors of being a product of the product. You know, you're drinking your Shakeology, you're eating well, you're following a nutrition plan, whether it's 2B mindset or whether it's the containers, or, you know, whatever is legitimately working for you. You're following a workout program, you're posting about it, you're sharing about it, you're trying different things, you're starting a workout plan and you're finishing it, and you're sharing your beginning and your end results because you stuck to it and you're consistent. Like, it all ties in so much with just being consistent with whatever you're doing. It's funny, like, when I listen to Grant Cardone, like, a lot, it's like I find myself, like, I floss my teeth more often. Like, I become so obsessed with, like, doing certain things that I'm like, well, if it's worth doing once, it's worth doing every day. And so, like, I'm like, okay, well, here I am. Like, let's go floss our teeth like a normal person should every single night. And I get on these kicks of, like, because, like, flossing is, I don't floss all the time. But, like, this is just an example. It's like, do the tiny things so that you don't have to suffer through it when you're older and have no teeth because you didn't floss when you were, you know, 30. So doing the consistent things, being a product of the product, and connecting with people. And again, I mean, they all tie back to the vital behaviors of be a product of the product, invite people, do your personal development, and recognize people who are doing really, really well, or not doing well. Recognize people, lift them up in whatever way you can, whoever needs it, whether they're a rock star or not, whether they're somebody who's struggling and needs to be recognized for all the crap they're going through. Those are the vital behaviors. Everything we do ties back to that, and they're vital because we have to do them every day. We have to be consistent. And we have to invite every day. We have to be consistent. And even if it's one person a day, even if it's one of those days where it's all you can do to invite one person, that's enough. But it has to be at least one person. You have to do it every day. You can't take a break and think that you're going to keep up the momentum that you've got. So I feel like that covers it. Don't mind my husband in his underwear.
Just cover him up. Does he know you're on a call right now? Sorry, I did not mean to laugh at you I wasn't laughing at you. I was trying to get a shot of us.
Uh-huh.
Let me see if you guys could see this. So Instagram has these really cool filters, and I was trying to get a shot of us, and I accidentally love zoomed in on my own face. So then I changed it to a different one. Zoomed in on Jennifer. None of it was what I was intending. I was just trying to. Oh, there's a fun one for. I wonder if I got time, real quick.
You have less than a minute.
Since we're pretty much done, right?
We're done.
Okay. There's this one called Nope. It's under Super Zoom. Under Super Zoom. And when you do it. So I'm using that now. I'm going to start using that for when things don't go the way I meant to. Like Pinterest fails and the like. Okay, I got to get a real picture though. So everybody smile. Okay. Yeah, that was... I'm going to put blooper for at least the one where it zoomed in on my face on accident.
Nice.
Man, I know I love myself, but...
Questions? Any last minute questions? Okay, cool. Thanks, you guys. I will post this. I forgot to post the other one on the YouTube, but I'll load that up too. But okay. I guess we're going to run out of time, so have a great night.
Okay, good night.
Bye.